For those of you that love talking about animals, from Sci News, fossils of prehistoric shark discovered in Texas. Three large vertebrae, believed to be that of an ancient gigantic shark, have been discovered in Texas by members of the Paleontology Club of the University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee. And now, from prehistoric to present, my name is Ethan. Welcome to Creature Kind Live Prehistoric News, and hit that subscribe button so we can get right back into the prehistoric news of the day. So, I don't know a whole lot about the different species of sharks that inhabited the Mesozoic era, the Cenozoic era. I mean, once you hit the Megalodon region, yes, it's I can go into depth a lot more, but I have no idea who we're getting into. So let's take a look. And this seems to be a very large species. This looks like a sand tiger shark. Sand tiger sharks you can find off the coast of Australia, South Africa, Japan. They reach somewhere around 10.5 feet in length. They're pushing 3 meters. And the females are larger than the males. This goes for many species of shark. And they can reach somewhere around 350 pounds or a little over, 160 kilograms. But these are tiny, at least those are smaller in comparison to what this is. And so we have Leptostyrax mycorrhiza and Macretolamna appendiculosa. Anyway, so let's keep going. The shark fossils were recovered in 2013 from the Lower Cretaceous Duck Creek Formation of Turok County, north central Texas. Okay, so we're looking at early Cretaceous when it refers to Lower Cretaceous. Um, Tends to be referring to further back in time, and then Upper Cretaceous tends to be referring to much more recent. So it's some member of the lamniform lineage of sharks, which is the family of sharks in which great white shark belongs to. They then were analyzed by a team of paleontologists led by Dr. Joseph Frederickson from the University of Oklahoma, Norman. These vertebrae represent a single animal of approximately 6.3 meters or 20 feet and 8 inches in minimum total length, making this individual one of the largest documented sharks from the early Cretaceous in North America. That's interesting. I actually thought they became a bit larger. I might be mistaking that for the late Cretaceous, but this is about the size, or at least the length, of a large great white shark of today.
Well, I'm a little confused. How did we go from um, hold on, Wisconsin to Oklahoma and found in Texas?
Oh, right. Um, I don't know. Something about the Midwest just deciding to come down. I don't get it. A lot of shark teeth in Texas, but I I'm not sure. The scientists hypothesized that these fossils belong to the prehistoric lamniform shark Leptostyrax mycorrhiza, lived between 145 and 100 million years ago. Uh, it was probably for a much shorter period of time. The lamniforms, however, first evolved around 145 million years ago. However, there are certain theories that it's very possible they had already evolved during the late Jurassic, so maybe a little more than 150 million years ago, based on their size and co-occurrence in two typical localities. So this looks like they're the growth rings of some part of the bone, probably. Um, Wait, or is this wood? Oh, right, vertebrae. That's interesting. From really? Oh, this is rare. The three newly discovered shark vertebrae in rostral cuddle. Oh, it's just different views. Well, that looks good. However, without associated teeth, this identification cannot be confirmed. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. This specimen has unique morphology undocumented in any other Cretaceous shark from North America, but shares large size with the contemporaneous vertebrae from the Kiowa Shale of Kansas. So it's just simply referring to another fossil formation, and apparently it's done. Anyway, yeah, and so it's really hard to identify the shark in this instance. I mean, even with the teeth, it can be a bit of a hassle. Teeth would help a lot, though. But let's take a look at some of the animals that would have coexisted during the Mesozoic era at this point. And one is Acrocanthosaurus, which is a member of the Carcharodontosaur lineage of carnosaurs during the early Cretaceous. This animal has been discovered over in Wyoming, Texas, It dates to about 110 million years ago during the early Cretaceous. It was likely feeding on different species of Titanosaur sauropod at the time, maybe even the early Cretaceous Brachiosaur species. So later descendants of Brachiosaurus, like the Sauroposeidon, which you can see here in the very background. This is probably a scene taking place in northern Texas around 110 million years ago. It's a bit of a debate as to whether or not Acrocanthosaurus would have hunted in packs. What is interesting is that many times Acrocanthosaurus used to be portrayed as just simply being a solitary hunter, and more recently it tends to be portrayed as more of a pack hunter, like other species of Carcharodontosaurs that would have hunted larger sauropods. But, Carcharodontosaurus not Carcharodontosaurus, Acrocanthosaurus could reach over 38 feet in length or pushing a little over 11 meters and weigh around 5 tons. It's slightly smaller than its closest relative, the Tyrannotitan, which is not a species of Tyrannosaur, it's just given the name Tyranno. And that animal was pushing over 40 feet and probably weighed around 6 to 7 tons. Now, the next animal is a species of pliosaur that inhabited Queensland and New South Wales in eastern Australia, or at least the seas that covered parts of the region during the early Cretaceous, around 115 million years ago. So this was shortly before Acrocanthosaurus had evolved. And this pliosaurus was also after creatures like Pliosaurus, Liopleurodon. This animal could reach over 30 around 35 feet in length and pushing 11 meters.
Wait, are you saying it was after them?
Yes. Um, Liopleurodon went extinct around 158 million years ago during the mid-Jurassic, and Pliosaurus ended up disappearing somewhere around 148 million years ago.
I just get confused sometimes because the way when you state times, sometimes when you're saying older, you're actually saying they're younger or they were closer to our time period. It's
Y
just the way you state them, it sometimes confuses me.
And also when referring to like upper and older when it comes to or upper and lower when it comes to different time periods. Anyway, here we have an odd reconstruction of a chronosaur hunting a species of plesiosaur. Both animals should have a tail fluke, and here they're just simply bare. And this plesiosaur looks like somebody stuck in a drawing from way back, or and just put it on in the top left-hand corner. The Chronosaur isn't bad in its overall reconstruction. It just simply have a tail fluke and um I don't know, something off about the teeth. But besides that, it's really not a bad reconstruction. This animal could weigh over 17 tons. So it was one of the larger species of pliosaur that would evolve during the Mesozoic era.
How large do great white sharks get?
Uh, Somewhere between 2,000, 2,500 pounds, or a little over 1,000 kilograms.
So this could get twice that size,
I think
4 times that size.
no, like 17 times that size. Yeah. Oh yeah, great white shark would be food. I really do like great white sharks, and they're having quite a few problems right now, especially with the orcas. So um, keep killing those seals. I mean, sea lions. Anyway, um, this is another reconstruction of Chronosaurus. So most likely, this animal was hunting different species of long-necked plesiosaur at the time, probably feeding on different species of ammonites, so the species of cephalopods that are related to today's squid, nautilus, and likely even hunting other species of pliosaur. And this is also before the mosasaurs had evolved, so it's not going to be feeding on any mosasaurs because they're not around.
He's
Um,
flukeless too.
Oh, yeah. Also, he has a very long tail compared to his body size. Chronosaurs, pliosaurs in general had very short tails. That's a later marine reptile sort of a trait. Well, that's okay. That's not technically true. It's a later mosasaur trait that I'm thinking of. You already had larger species of ichthyosaurs, like the Symbospondylus from back in the early or the late Triassic period, around 210 million years ago. Had a very long tail compared to its body size, but not the pliosaurs. Now, here we have a species of animal from Argentina, but this is around 80 million years ago. So, this is during the last 14 million years of the Cretaceous period. And this is New Quentosaurus, which is a member of the Saltosauridae lineage of sauropod dinosaurs back in the late Cretaceous period. They were quite a successful group. Many of the different species, especially Saltosaurus, were heavily armored. It is quite interesting. These were almost like the ankylosaurs of the sauropod family. Not that other certain species of sauropod might have had a certain type of armor. This just looks more of like an ankylosaur. Some are likely, like certain diplodocids, like the Dicryosaurs, would have had just extremely long, elongated vertebrae, but very robust, possibly sharp too. Whereas the Saltosaurus were just quite armored. However, Nuquensaurus was one of the smaller species. This animal probably didn't reach much more than 30 feet in length or pushing around 9 meters, maybe weighed somewhere between 3 to 4 tons. So it was a smaller species of sauropod, and it had to watch out for different species of a belly sword in the region, possibly different species of Megaraptor. Since we do have a species of belly sword called Octosaurus, which has been found in the same formation where Nuquensaurus was discovered in Argentina. And there's at least 6 to 7 other different species of sauropod that have been discovered here as well. So, um, but when it comes to, I was thinking of the sharks. Likely this sauropod. Well, many of the dinosaurs in general, it's very possible they came into contact with sharks, but for the most part, they weren't really that big of a threat. They just had to be concerned about larger marine reptiles. The further in depth they went into the oceans, I mean, if they're swimming in areas around 60 to 70 feet deep, you could have different species of pliosaur feed on certain individuals. So, let me know what your favorite species of shark or Cretaceous dinosaur is. And from prehistoric to present, my name is Ethan. This is Creature Guy Live Daily News. Remember to like, comment, subscribe if you love talking about animals, and share this show with everyone you know, because nothing is better than all animals all the time.